Пожалуйста.
Thank you very much. And now, next presentation will be given by Dr. Tezer Kutluk from Turkey on UICC experience in educational programs in LMICs. Welcome.
Dear presence, ladies and gentlemen, for the next 15 minutes, I'll try to reflect the inspirations from my society, UICC experience in education program and capacity building issues. I was here in Moscow exactly 1 year ago, in May 2015, for the launch of Cancer Atlas Russian edition. Almost 1 year ago, I'm here again in Moscow. For those who don't know much about UICC, UICC is the oldest and largest cancer NGO in the world, established in 1933 in Geneva. We have more than 900 members in more than 150 countries. We have formal relations with United Nations agencies like WHO, IARC, and International Atomic Energy Agency, and many other cancer societies, research centers, governmental groups, and the patient groups. The purpose of UICC is to unite the cancer community, to reduce the global cancer burden, to promote greater equity, and to integrate cancer control into the World Health and Development Agenda. It is not only the burden of cancer, it is not only the mortality, it is also a cost issue based on a recent economic analysis. The cancer cost to the world about 1.2 trillion in 2010. It is one of the important issues for all of us. The burden of childhood cancer is also increasing based on the recent press release from IARC, more than 200,000 cases. It is not only the burden, inequity is also an issue. There is a certain survival gaps in different countries according to their economical development level. More than 50 years, UICC is running successful educational opportunities all around the world. Our aim to conduct and coordinate high-impact capacity-building initiatives to support cancer control commitments at local, regional, and global level. Childhood cancer is a small part of our actions, but the challenge, as said before, increasing the survival rates and closing the gaps. UICC's response to this gap is campaigning all around the world. We, together with the SIOP and Childhood Cancer International, working on signs and symptoms campaign in more than 40 countries. Another action was My Child Matters, supported by Sanofi and the SIOP. Support was provided to 51 hospitals and NGO in 33 countries since 2005, mostly for capacity building projects. We are also running workshops and fellowships in pediatric oncology to build skills in registry, treatment, and palliative care. UICC Fellowship Program, Global Education and Training Initiative, is a well-known program of UICC. It's the only international NGO to support cross-border fellowship training exclusively devoted to global cancer control with a focus on low and middle-income countries. We have a 50-plus years history in providing fellowships for professionals actively engaged in all aspects of cancer control and care. Up to now, we were able to support more than 6,000 cancer professionals for fellowships since beginning. UICC Fellowships Award I will give several examples. Even one small start make big changes. We are investing those kinds of capacity building initiatives in different parts of the world. This is an example from Cameroon. There was a need for palliative care investment. We trained somebody from the Cameroon in South Africa, and that trained person went back to his center and started the program successfully. Another example from Vietnam, to increase the capacity of the pediatric oncology nursing, 2 nurses from the pediatric center oncology and hematology unit were selected and trained at 2 specialty hospitals in Singapore for a month. Then they went back and they started the program in their country, and the program evaluated regularly. This is also a good example in another part of the world. UICC workshops is a systematic programs. UICC provides grants to enable capacity building linked to UICC priority areas and World Cancer Declaration targets. These are intensive short-term training for cancer professionals, a variety of cancer professionals, mostly focused on low and middle-income countries, and anticipated impact on cancer control activities at local and regional level. Another example for these capacity building workshops organized by Pediatric Radiation Oncology Society PROS by a small grant from UICC. They provided hands-on training in basic radiotherapy techniques applicable to children treated in center in low and middle-income countries. We recently, in June 2015, organized a workshop with a focus to Latin America, to mapping the practices and experiences in Latin America to develop a phased model framework for childhood cancer for the Latin American region. This is on progress. Now we are running the mapping study of childhood cancer governance and management in Latin America region. When we finalize this study, maybe we can use this experience in another part of the world. We will include approximately 12 countries from the region. This study is also endorsed by the local organizations. And a collaboration between Fundación Nuestros Hijos, Childhood Cancer International, and the Hospital for Sick Children and UICC. There's a vast suite of educational resources, as I said, Signs and Symptoms campaign, TNM e-modules in partnership with eCancer. Manual of Clinical Oncology also have pediatric tumor chapters. Pediatric cancer stage in population-based cancer registries also is a study collaborated by Sick Kids and the Harvard colleagues from Harvard and some others. And there are also resources on International Cancer Control Portal to put the cancer control, national cancer control plans on the agenda. These are the several examples that we are using at the moment. This is the pediatric cancer stage in population-based cancer registries. The Toronto Consensus Principles and Guidelines are recently published in Lancet Oncology. This is a good example of collaboration. We are hoping that this staging system can be used in different settings for the registry purposes. A new Journal of Global Oncology published by ASCO is also supported by UICC with a focus on the low and middle income countries. There are also articles published and which is on the way focused on pediatric cancer. Master courses are another active option from UICC. These are unique opportunities to acquire specialized knowledge and skills while attending the World Cancer Congress. The format is 20 hours distant learning, and face-to-face workshops at the Congress, pre-Congress workshops, are very helpful workshops for capacity building for organizations, patient groups, and many others who are focused on the cancer control. The main topics include the implementation science, cancer control plan, palliative care, and there are different options also. We are also started new leadership programs, SIOP program. That SIOP program aims to respond to the needs of the chief executive officers of cancer organizations to support them in their leadership role and help them address today's challenges in a fast-changing environment. We are also supporting young leaders to be trained during the World Cancer Leaders Summit and the World Cancer Congress to invest and develop the future leaders in cancer control. World Cancer Day since 2005 are getting more and more successful. This is not directly linked to childhood cancer, but it is linked to increase the capacity building and increase awareness and mobilizing resources and the making advocacy at different levels from regional to global level. getting more and more visible at the global level. You will see at the bottom of the graphics, this year in 2016, there were more than 18 million opportunities to see, hear, or read about the World Cancer Day in the social media. This is a big outreach and a big potential for all of us to make changes happen in regional, national level. You all are aware the United Nations decisions made in 2011. Right after that, things are getting faster, going faster. The WHO came with 9 targets, and I was able to speak on behalf of the civil society, not only the cancer, but also non-communicable diseases in 2014, United Nations General Assembly. As a pediatric oncologist, I was expected to reflect the pediatric community inspirations on my opening speech. I also reflected my inspiration on the pediatric cancers. I used the opportunity on behalf of the pediatric oncology community in this opportunity. You all know about the Millennium Development Goals, but we were wondering what would be the next after the Millennium Development Goals. In September 2015, recently, United Nations came with the Sustainable Development Goals, as said by a colleague from WHO, Andreas. Goal number 3 is related with the health. This is a good opportunity for all of us, not only for the UICC, NGO, all governmental agencies, academia, and individuals, patient support groups. We have to use this opportunity very efficiently to make changes happen in the near future. The Sustainable Development Goals are valid until 2030. It is not, I said the goal number 3 is related with the health, but there are other goals related with, directly related with the goal 3. For example, goal number 1 is ending poverty. Goal number 8 is promoting economic growth. Goal number 10 is reducing inequity. So it seems complicated, the 17 sustainable development goals, and under that 17 goals, there are 169 targets. In such a big organizations all over the world, it seems complicated, but lessons learned from the Millennium Development Goals, we will be able to use this opportunity to make success on the management of the non-communicable diseases, including cancer. Those of us who care about cancer and the other non-communicable diseases have much in common, and working effectively together has been successful to date and will be in the future. We have made great strides securing global agreements and commitments to address non-communicable disease in the next 20 years. Much has to be done, and there are many unknowns, but we are in a better position today than we have ever been to reduce incidence and mortality in the future. I thank you very much. It's always a pleasure for me to be here in Moscow. This is my first contact with Russian colleagues in Tatarstan, CIS meeting. Then I came and visit Blokhin Center during the National Pediatric Oncology Congress in October. And I also had chance to visit Federal Center when I came in October. Thank you for the invitation. And I also would like to invite and inform you about the World Cancer Congress, which is going to be in Paris, late October, early November. This is a good opportunity for those who want to learn more about the capacity building and networking and sharing the experience, what you are doing here. To share, this gives an opportunity for all of us to share knowledge and experience with colleagues from other parts of the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you ever so much. And the last presentation.